Hi guys, my name is Douglas and I am also the founder of Aquarius.Academy, and I'm a fighter for true carbon sequestration. And what that means is putting carbon back into the soil. Now, how do we do that? We do that with organic life. The greatest filter of organic life is plants. Now, what we have is a political climate that has evolved or devolved into a nail and a hammer approach. We see carbon dioxide as some enemy that is accelerating the heating of the planet. Now, that I have no problems with that. That's true. That is provable, right? But how we're going about solving this issue is completely wrong. The solution I see is to return the carbon to the soil through plants, specifically trees and undergrowth and well forested areas. Now, that does not mean going and planting rows of trees. That does not mean going out and planting as many trees as we can. What that does mean is taking a population center and using a geographical model to map out the population density and then use satellite imagery to determine the colors of the pixels of the surrounding area to determine if this land is a natural forest or if this land is farmland. Now, the biggest problem that we've done to upset the carbon cycle it's twofold. It's not just we're releasing more carbon into the atmosphere, it's that we've cut down all of our natural carbon filters, the trees, right, to make these fields. Now, I'm going to get to a very important point that I said earlier, carbon sequestration in the soil. Carbon absorbs 4 times as much water, right? I'm sorry, 4 times its weight in water, okay? And if that is the case, which I saw this from another video, I need to research, but if that is the case, then we are basically, by removing these things and planting our crops there, we're getting far less carbon in the soil. And that means that we do not have healthy soil, because the more carbon is in the soil, the more life is in the soil, the healthier that soil is. So how do we solve this? Like I said, we have population centers. We map out around it to see where the forest was, and then we can use fractal geometry to determine, okay, here's some plants, or here's some plots of land that should be returned to the native forest. Now, how do we do that? One great thing is to use seed bombs, where you collect native seeds, put it into clay or mud, and then just sort of throw it. The other thing you can do is just let it go, and it will return back to nature. The last thing you can do is to plant specific little patches of trees. So what you really want is undergrowth. You want the undergrowth to grow up alongside the trees. If you just go out and plant a bunch of trees, you're not going to have a natural system with undergrowth, and you're going to have a modified ecosystem that can allow certain biological actors, mainly pests, to thrive, right? So this is problems that we're seeing with any sort of plague, is that there's too many of one thing planted in one area. So if we want to be smart about this, we can make these geographical models using satellite data and then purchase this land, or in some way acquire the land, or even have the landowner sign off an agreement for some tax benefit to return these native lands to their soil. It's less work for the farmers. They're still getting paid. And yeah, that's naturally how you solve this, because what's happening right now is really scary. They are pumping CO2 underneath the ocean, and what that's doing is solidifying porous rock. Now, what happens when you solidify porous rock is it does not allow water to flow. It does not allow air to flow, and that disrupts all sort of natural systems. And it's very dangerous, friends, anytime that we attempt to change the climate. Right? That's happened in Atlantis. That's happening now with these things they're throwing up in the atmosphere. This is not good. We have all the solutions here in nature. So please share this message, share these ideas, educate people about the carbon cycle, educate people about the importance of life in soil. The more organisms, the better. Trees, they have a system that they send a message to the soil to tell the soil what they need. Then the I was going to call them germs, the bacteria and the mycelium down there work together, and they will actually grow according to what the tree needs, or any other plant. And as they do that, they're developing this healthy soil, right? And you need these organisms within the soil to make the nutrients bioavailable for the tree to uptake these. So for this to happen, we're not going to go around and plant trees. We're going to go around and set aside land and let nature take its course, maybe with a little bit of expedition through these seed bombs, or planting one itty bitty patch with a few native trees, a few native underbrush stories, and then letting that play out. So guys, these things about giant machines sucking carbon out of the air, they are bad. They are not returning the carbon to the soil. We need to plant trees, right? We need to save land and let nature plant the trees, because we don't have to do shit. We need to realize that, like, Earth is good. Earth is doing good, and they want to see us happy. And when we have this false enemy of carbon dioxide, which is completely natural in our cycle, we lose sight of the fact that it is part of the life cycle, and we try to hit this nail with a hammer and demonize it, and we evolve into scary things and scary solutions that we think we're so smart that we can do. But we just need to look from a geometric perspective and see what we're doing. So let me send this message out there, and I'm full force thinking about this all the time, working on solutions, working on economic models that can make this happen. But until people realize the importance of a healthy carbon cycle, it's not going to happen. We're going to keep seeing this enemy, this nail, and keep hitting it until that nail hurts Earth. We are hurting Earth by hitting this nail of trying to fight carbon. Carbon is life. Literally every single molecule that we know that is involved in life has carbon attached to it, right? It's what we need. Like, we need carbon. We every single life needs carbon. And yeah, okay, I'm rambling now, but educate yourself and your brethren about the carbon cycle. Let's do this smart. Let's get these ideas out there. We can map out population centers. We can use data to figure out where it is. I actually have a friend who's done this. That was his project in college, was to develop these algorithms that can choose the colors which show deforestation. That's what he did. We already have the code to do it. So all we need is support, love, and sharing this message that Earth loves us. We are good. Humans are gardeners of Earth. We are the greatest force on Earth for Earth. And let's unite around that idea and start to become that, manifest that here on this planet. Thank you for listening. God, soul, and love. Douglas from Aquarius Academy. Peace.